Alright, so we are live. And Legion is too busy eating.
What's going on, guys?
Alright, let's see if this is working. It's working really good.
Sorry, I was being fat and stuffing my face. Going on's in the background.
Related at the same time.
Yeah.
So, see, the internet's acting actual. Come on, load. You know what? I'll just have it on my phone, considering that. Oh, it loaded. Alright, it's working.
Cool.
So, guys, this is our initial start of Friendly Talks, which the name has to be debated.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Okay.
So, do you want to start on the first topic?
Sure.
Alright.
Alright, so what we're going to begin with is question of the day. Alright. Legion over here has the first question of the
Alright.
day.
So, my question of the day that I usually typically get is my addictions. Now, with my addictions, that involves, like, my smoking habit and, you know, other things I do throughout the day, like my addiction to Mountain Dew and Monster that I have. And a very big one for me is, as I said, is my smoking addiction. And of course, it's not just a habit, it's actually an addiction. I'm actually working on quitting, which has been a long, bumpy road because there's a lot of stuff going on with life. So it makes it sort of harder to quit. But I'm trying my best. And with my Mountain Dew addiction, I know it's going to probably kill my liver at some point in time. And, you know, not be healthy. But
And that diabetes.
yeah, a lot of diabetes. But I think my worst one happens to be the smoking habit. That addiction is gonna kill me faster than the diabetes is.
Yeah.
And I know I'm trying to quit. I've been vaping for the last 2 years, year and a half. Tried to quit. But with stress levels and everything else with that, it makes it sort of harder to try to quit. But it's been interesting so far. Long road. And I've gone down from smoking a pack and a half a day to smoking 1, maybe 2, 3 at max a day, if I can try. Unless I'm with friends and that are smoking around me, and then shit just goes out the window.
So when did like the smoking thing like started happening?
Actually, that's actually sort of a funny story. I was 13, almost 14 years old, and I was dating this chick named Shelby. And
She got you into smoking.
yeah, she was 16 at the time, and she was smoking, and then I started to smoke. I quit for 4 years, and then went back to it.
Normally how it happens.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to cut myself from it, and it's slowly but steadily working. I just enhanced my nicotine strength in my vape up to 6% instead of 3. And the 6 is actually helping out a lot more. I had my first 2 cigarettes today, actually on the walk earlier, but I actually didn't like them after the fact. I was like, that's why as soon as we got back to the house, I grabbed my mod and I just started to rip it because I was like, no, I can't do it.
I remember the first time I tried a cigarette. It was I think it was No. Yep, yeah, it was. So it was. No, I think it was a cigar actually. So, my mom had a cigar because she's a really heavy smoker. That's why she has lung cancer now. She had a cigar. I'm like, maybe I can show off to my friends or some shit. So I tried it and I fucking just threw it away instantly. Because we were like all doing it for some reason.
Yeah.
But like, it was so gross. I didn't like it. I was like, ugh. Because it was like one of those fat, like, Cuban cigars. And then again, I tried a normal cigarette when I was in 6th grade. I was 12. No, 13. I was 13. And then it was in the bathroom. And I tried it just to like...
With the fan on, trying to get everything to circulate so nobody would smell it. Yep. I remember those days.
And I was like, I don't like it. It's weird. So I never tried it again, and I keep my distance away.
Oh, no, I can totally understand that. I would suggest if you can stay away from smoking, not to do it.
Nah. My mom, though, my sisters kept it up. My oldest sister, she started smoking. She was doing what I was doing because she didn't want my stepfather and my mom to find out.
Yeah.
So, so then I caught her once, and I thought it was like a bad thing. I was like in 3rd grade, around there.
Yeah.
And after that, she just had it open for a while, and then it was my second sister. Then she got pregnant, so she stopped.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, I always used to tell myself, oh, I'd never smoke. I'll never smoke. I'll never smoke. Because after watching what my grandparents went through, I was like, dude, I'll never smoke. And then it started to happen. I started to smoke, and I was like, fuck. I was like, damn, that's horrible. Now I look at myself, and it's just like, I should quit. I should really quit.
Yeah, no. That's how, like, a lot of people look at it. Hold up. I'm trying to do something on my television.
So now I'm just, like, sitting here really trying to quit, and it's been a struggle and a half.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean...
Oh, by a long shot. If you could stay away from it, just stay away from it in the beginning. Don't bother.
There you go. You got the I can edit it later. Never mind. You got your advice of the day, I guess. Stay away from cigarettes and drugs.
Not all drugs are bad.
I mean, cocaine is pretty bad.
I didn't specify what drug. I said not all drugs are bad. I'm not saying go out and do drugs. I'm just saying not all drugs are bad.
I just hit the mic. I mean, weed is okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not all. That was downstairs. But yeah, like, just whatever you do, just stay away from it. Alright.
Alright, another question of the day, which I have a lot of problem with. Race issues, or not just race issues, more or less figuring out what I am. I guess a lot of people get that confused. Alright, it's a funny story. Nobody got my race wrong until I moved to Nashville, which is kind of stereotypical.
When I met Chaos, I sat there and I was like, I bet he's Hispanic, and I was right.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Yeah.
My great-grandmother was from Spain. My great-grandfather's from Dominican Republic. My mother's from Puerto Rico. Same with my father. Same on my father's side. Everybody's Puerto Rican. And my grandfather off of my mother's side is Dominican / Puerto Rican. So we're all in that Caribbean, Spain,
yeah,
outlook. So,
And this is one thing with the whole race thing that gets me, is like everybody like jumps to conclusions. Chaoses. When I met Chaos, I sat there and went, "Oh, cool, really dope kid, really down to earth, really mellow. Let's hang out." If you guys don't know, my best friend is black. Like, race doesn't matter with me.
it shouldn't, at least.
Yeah,
It shouldn't. Like, I only had one Asian friend throughout my whole
I've
life.
had a couple Asian friends. They're dope.
I think I had, like, actually more than one. I just don't remember them. But I remember there's one Cambodian kid from Lawrence. He was pretty dope. He didn't know any Chinese or nothing. No, whatever Cambodia speaks. Taiwanese, I don't know.
Cambodians?
Yeah. I don't know what language they speak.
Actually, this is actually kind of funny. You would never guess it, but they speak partial French.
What the fuck?
Yep.
It's like saying Haitians speak French. I think they do. I think it's a combination. It's kind of like Portuguese.
Yeah, it's sort of
combination of Spanish and French.
Well, think about it. Where is Cambodia? Where are they from?
Isn't it like somewhere around Vietnam, around there? Taiwan? Like around that area? Around that circle? I'm not too big on Cambodia. I know where everything else is. Just not Cambodia.
It's a weird situation. But no, with the whole race topic, I mean, there's just so many stupid things that fly around, and it's just like, we're all human. We all have blood.
We bleed red.
We all bleed red.
We have a brain. We have a heart.
Yeah, we all have feelings. What's the point of being disrespectful just because
A certain melanin in your skin.
Yeah.
Some people had darker skin to survive out, before, not civilization, but like, while civilization was going on.
Being made.
Like, that's why we don't get sunburnt, but lighter skin toned people can.
Yeah.
People who have longer hair can wear that because to protect their necks from the cold. Stuff like that. Like
another big situation is like, if not trying to pull that racial comment right now, but if a white person goes to Antarctica, we're not going to be as cold as, say, a Puerto Rican, a black guy,
I'll freeze my balls off.
It's everybody adapts their
Europeans
own way.
were built in cold grounds. Same with Russians.
Yeah. Well, Russians definitely. Those fuckers can walk outside their boxers and
including Canadians. Canadians can withstand themselves.
Oh yeah, big time.
For me, we can withstand really hot weathers. So what do you think? Like down in Saudi Arabia, they have like, darker tones. Africa have darker tones because,
And I hate the fucking stereotypes. I fucking hate them.
I hate the stereotypes, but it's there because they existed at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not every white guy has a goatee, fucking wears a wife beaters, been to prison, likes to shoot guns.
No.
Like, what the fuck? And not all black guys have been to prison, sagged their pants.
They don't all like basketball. They don't all fight. There's a lot of them that are just really intellectual or artistic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there that prefer the rock music over rap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that.
Like Davon. Gun it, dude. And I was sort of shocked because I've never really met a black guy that was into rock and metal. And when I was talking to Gun It, when I first met him, he was like, "Oh, I love System of a Down, I love Slipknot, I love all these bands," and I was like, I just sat there looking at him like, how, why?
Yeah.
And then when I met Lloyd's a great friend of ours. I mean, absolutely great friend. And he turned around, he's like, "I love classic rock." I was like, wow, okay, cool, like, that's interesting.
Yeah, he plays guitar.
Yeah.
He plays bass as well, a little bit.
Huh.
he does a little bit of everything. He teaches kids at the local Boys and Girls Club that I work in, which we're gonna discuss later.
I'll come back in later on the topic.
Yeah, work topic. So like, that's the problem I have. People tend to mistake me as an Indian person, like from India.
I know, I've heard that one.
I can get the resemblance, but I can see the difference.
Yeah. No.
They don't have the luscious curly hair as I do.
You should do dreads.
No, I don't want to do dreads. That look so weird on me.
Actually, that'd probably look funny as shit. Awesome at the same
Nope.
time.
I used to. Wait, no, somebody else in DMX came out of my mouth. So people tend to... There was this one time I went to the store over there.
Yeah.
So the guy went over to me and he was like... Not went over to me, I was in the cashier. Or you're Spanish. I'm like, thank you. So I have no knowledge of Indian culture whatsoever, besides they don't eat beef. So
I will be straightforward with you guys. I like looking at cultures. I take different perspectives in different ways. I've looked into what Indian people like, Chinese.
the stereotype with Indians is like,
It's always funny though.
curry. It's always a thing. I don't know. Or they stink of curry,
And they always own a store. Like, it's always a market.
I know, right? They're either in retail or they always own a freaking. It's because they're really smart.
Oh, yeah.
Indian people have like the smartest IQs in the whole world.
Oh, yeah. Other than Chinese people.
Other
Because
than
those
Chinese
fuckers
Those motherfuckers know math better than a calculator.
they even proved the calculator wrong, which is actually a stereotype, but it's a funny one.
That's why I like that scene when Family Guy. He's like, "Oh, pull out calculators." He pulls out a fucking Asian person to the desk. I fucking love that.
But not all stereotypes are bad, though.
No, but there's a lot of Asians out there that, are not that, I don't want to bash on them, but they're not like super smart as we perceive them to be. The reason why they're always smart is because their parents push them to their limit, and they go to school all year round, other than Americans or British. I don't know how their systems works, but they go to school all year round and not vacation.
In Germany, you only get 2 weeks of vacation, and it's for spring break.
Yeah, so like there's not a lot of people that
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, you actually have the same system rules as America.
Yeah. Well, here's another big one coming on from the racial side. See, in my family, we're part German and part Russian. And every time I tell somebody that, they look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're always angry, or you have to be drunk to sustain with being around other people." That's not true. I love being around people. Like, I am the happiest motherfucker, and I can talk to anybody. A dude walking down the street can stop to talk to me, and I would fucking sit there and talk to him. I am just a nice individual until you piss me off.
Do you find yourself more of a introvert or extrovert?
I'm extrovert.
Or ambiverted, which is kind of like a combination of both.
I could be both at times. Because there's days where I like to be by myself and just do my shit. Like today. Today was one of those days where I wanted to get my shit done that I had to get done. But there's days where I just love to go out and be around people and go lucky.
I was raised in a very isolated kind of, life. So I became to be an extreme introvert.
Yeah, but you can break yourself into that. You just gotta push yourself to do it.
I do that every day. When I don't want to go to work, it's because I don't want to be around people.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to work retail because I have to talk to people.
That's
I don't
understandable.
want to work at a fast food restaurant because I constantly have to talk to people.
But think about that. If you can break yourself of that problem now, it saves you in the long run, especially if you become famous and you have to talk to people and do signings.
Well, that's the only
because if you don't, you'll become another Ronnie Radke, and nobody wants another Ronnie Radke.
No.
That motherfucker's an asshole.
Talking about famous people, NF, he's an extreme introvert. He says, I have a hard time talking to my fans, but I do the best I can. You know what I mean? I take pictures with them. I try to talk to them.
Yeah, but you notice something there?
Stuff.
You notice something about NF? He's slowly breaking himself of that.
He's growing.
I watched a video the other night of NF sitting down talking with a fan, and they sat there talking for an hour and a half. And at the beginning, if you go back and watch his first couple interviews with fans, he sits there quiet as shit and lets the fan do all the talking to him. This
basically me.
This newest one, he did all the talking, and he was very out there with the fans. He was laughing and joking around with the fans. He's breaking himself of that habit. If you can do that before you become famous, and become to that level where people want to talk to you, and you can learn how to talk to people and not be an introvert anymore, you can have your days where you're an introvert while you're on the road.
See, here's the thing.
But when you break yourself of that habit, you'll be able to talk to everybody, and you'll actually feel more happy. I've noticed that.
But at that point, I'll be more of an ambivert than an extrovert. Like Jim Carrey, he's an extreme extrovert. He loves being in the spotlight.
Oh, that's Jim Carrey. He's a loopy fuck.
But he says that he's always been that way, even as a kid. So, like, for me, I was a very shy kid in school. I was like, I'll put on my headphones, put on my hoodie, and just walk.
That's how I feel.
So, like, that's all I do, because I don't want to fucking listen to, stupid people.
Yeah, no, I could understand that one.
So, like, I'm tired of this shit. Obviously, I was, like, bullied when I was in school, so I was built that way. But if it comes to a thing that I like, that's the one, like, when we go to a concert, that's the one time I would literally go out there in the crowd.
Like, look when you first met Davon, Lloyd, Wency, Carlos, everybody else. You were breaking out of that shell. You were progressing, which was off too long. Let's kick it to the next step.
Alright.
That's enough on that racism topic.
Alright. We went from race to, like, being around people, which is fine.
Same thing in the same fields, because of racism can happen.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so next segment, we're just gonna roll through this and be like, funny life experiences. So we're gonna do that little segment, but we're also gonna do tattoo advice and music.
Tattoo advice and music is gonna be compact.
It's gonna be like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Alright, and then our last topic is gonna be issue of the day.
Yep.
So, funny life experiences. Do you want to choose anything, like...
I got a funny one that...
Anything, like, you want both of ours to be related?
No, it could be anything you want. I have a funny one for you guys. So, I was 5 or 6 when I first got my ears done. Of course, you guys have probably seen it. I have gauges. I have my nose pierced. I have my industrial. I had just gotten my ears pierced. I was like 5 or 6. And 2 weeks later, I was talking to my friend Sean. Really good, right?
Yeah, it is good.
I was talking to my friend Sean at the time, and we were both like 5 or 6.
Everybody has that one friend named Sean.
And I convinced him to go get his ears pierced. And I had to go talk to his mom. Sean's like, oh, I can't talk to my mom about it. You gotta do it, dude. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I suck at talking to parents. So I sat there. I got his mom convinced. So the very next day, that Friday, we went to go get his ears pierced. I went with him. And then, less than a week later, my uncle turned around. He's like, my 6-year-old nephew got his fucking ears pierced, and I couldn't even do it. So, I'm gonna go get my fucking ear pierced. And I sat there, dying. And even to this day, I look at my uncle and I'm like, wow, I was the one that got my uncle to get up off his ass to go get his ear pierced. And it's like with same thing with my tattoo. Like, when I got my tattoo done, Garnet now wants to go get his done. Which is actually kind of funny, because it pushed it to the fact that I had to go get my tattoo done so the big black guy would go get his tattoo done. And it didn't hurt. Like, not at all. Not one bit. But that will be part of the tattoo segment of this.
Yeah. I gotta choose one. I gotta choose one.
I gotta say, the day we were with Lloyd was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We got pulled over 2 times in a matter of an hour, and the cop pulled me out both times and asked me if I was being kidnapped or if I was being robbed by black guys or held hostage by black guys.
That's pretty. Yeah, I mean that's cops for you.
I thought it was funny.
And then at the same time, I'll try to figure out a funny life experience because my life has been pretty dark and gloom. So I'm trying to like figure out what the fuck happened. So
That's a funny moment in itself.
yeah. Anything school related, maybe. Oh, like that. Okay, so like the one I was explaining to you outside.
Oh yeah.
So I'll explain it again. So I was in Ohio. I was living in Ohio at the time. This was about 2012. Yeah, 2012. 2011, 2012. I was like about 14. Yeah, I was about 14. So what happened then was it was a blizzard out right now. Not right now. Fuck. I'm trying to think.
Then.
It was then. And it was like a winter storm basically, which is kind of not that popular for Ohio people. I mean, it's close to Michigan, so I guess snowstorms can happen. So I was in 9th grade, and I was, I had to walk to school because my parents will not go out, or my mom was always working. Her boyfriend was out doing drug deals, whatever he did at the time. So I had to go to school. I didn't have no internet. I didn't have a phone with really cool apps that we have today. I was actually a very poor state at that point. I didn't even have a console. Actually, no. I did, but I didn't have a TV. That was a problem. Bro, I was so pissed off. That happened. That's another one.
That's a good one.
Right.
Are you sure I remember that?
Yes, I am. Alright, so there was a blizzard. I went walking. Like I had like 3 coats on, heavy ones, and like 2 socks. Shoes weren't even good. So I went over to the school, got there finally. I'm like, oh, thank God. I saw nobody outside. Nobody inside either. I'm like, don't fucking tell me. So I wait there for a solid hour, waiting for someone to pop up. And another kid showed up, and he's like, is there no school today? I'm like, I have no idea. So then the janitor rolls up because he's plowing. He's like, what are you guys doing here? I'm like, we're waiting for school to start. What else? And he's like, there's no school today, bro. I'm like, that can't be it. So he said that obviously there was no school today and I had to go home. So I had to walk back in the fucking cold. I was so cold, I went to a store to cool off.
Warm up,
not cool off. And so the guy obviously was like, bro, are you gonna get anything? Are you just here? And I was like, dude, it's cold outside, I gotta walk home. I'm trying to warm up. And he's like, alright, just don't steal anything. So I'm like, racist bastard. So, and then I trooped up to my house, and that also reminds me of that one. I have like a lot of shit that is fucked up to myself. There was this one time where I went to my friend's house to sleep over, and then he didn't ask his aunt. So then I had to go back home, but my parents were sleeping. So I could not get inside the house. So the car was open, so I slept in the car the whole entire night. Frozen to death.
Damn.
That's okay. So the funny one.
The Xbox story is the best.
All right. So I was always like sleeping over a friend's house. I was in 9th grade. I just moved out of Ohio. I went to Lawrence. So I was staying over this girl's house. What's her name? Fuck, I can't remember her name. Let's call her H, because it began with H. So I slept over H's house, and she also had her mom and a roommate, which they had separate rooms. So obviously he was a stoner. So that's where I first tried weed for the very, very first time, but it was very weak. It was like, it only got me like buzzed. So, and he was a skateboarder too, we both skate and all that. And I told him, he was like, hey, I can bring my Xbox over, we can play. He was like, bet. So I brought my Xbox over, 360. It was the Black Elite Edition.
Elite.
So we were just there. We played Skate 3. We did all that stuff. Actually, it's the same one right there. And I slept over there many times over. Like, it wasn't the first time. He had a douchey friend I didn't like that much. And so that specific night, I slept over in her bed. Nothing happened. We were like in the same bed, but her bed was like fucking huge. So I was weird about it. She was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. People always sleep over. Whatever." So I was like, "Okay." Wake up one morning. I went to go, wake up the Sterner dude. And he was like, "Yo, let's do something." Look over to my right. The fucking Xbox is fucking gone. So I'm like, "Dude, what happened to the Xbox?" He's like, "What? I don't know. The fuck?" And then my controllers are there. The cables, the HDMI are there. The games are there. The only thing gone is the fucking physical console. That is it. And the game inside, which was Black Ops 2.
Oh, shit.
Fucking gone.
Oh.
So then I'm like, the fuck? And then I saw the door cracked open. I'm like, this, really? Did somebody... The TV was there too. It was a small, like, flat screen TV. It was just there. So I'm like, what the fuck happened?
They stole the Xbox. They stole the console and left everything else.
Everything else is just there. So I'm like, going out of my mind. And then I finally told my mom, and she's like, why you didn't report this in the beginning? We could have had, like, cops, troop up and find it. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't care anymore. I was so pissed off that I didn't care anymore.
That's funny shit.
That was my first Xbox 360 I'd gotten in Ohio.
That was funny.
I had a lot of shit on that. Actually, I still have that account. That apparently has nothing's happening with that account anymore. So
that's funny.
Whoever has it right now, I hope you're fucking happy.
That's funny as shit. Alright. So, on to tattoo advice and music. Alright, so from my experiences so far, I just got a tattoo, what was it? Week and a half ago now?
Yeah. That was your Deadpool tattoo?
Yeah, I got the Deadpool logo done. First tattoo, got it on the back of my leg. It actually did not hurt.
No, that's like the least part it would hurt.
Not at all. It's upper calf. It didn't hurt. I was actually sitting there trying not to laugh at when the dude was coloring it in.
Yeah, because it tickled?
Yeah, just right there. Because the motion that you get from the tattoo gun, it actually tickles. What I'm going to say with tattoo advice, for me at least, is if you're going to get a tattoo, get it of something that you know you're going to love forever, or it has a lot of meaning to you. The reason why I went with the Deadpool logo is because I've been reading Deadpool comics since I was 5 years old. Deadpool's my favorite character. You can even ask Chaos. The room is plastered in Deadpool shit.
Yeah. To be honest, when I first met Legion, they asked me, okay, so pick your two favorite characters from MCU or like Marvel Comics
and
DC Comics. And I'm like, for Marvel, I'll go with Deadpool. He's like,
nah, nigga.
Nah. And I'm like, oh, are you fucking serious? And I didn't even know he was a Deadpool fan.
Oh, I've been a huge Deadpool fan since I was knee high to a grasshopper.
That's why I let it go and didn't fight it.
Deadpool and Moon Knight, like, you can literally ask me any question about Deadpool and I can answer it. So, that, literally for tattoo advice, like, and if you're going anything music-wise, don't get a band logo done. Don't get, stupid little shit. Get stuff that's really meaningful.
Something that stick with you for the rest of all your life.
Something that you want 12 layers deep in your skin for the rest of your life.
Or something that looks incredibly cool on you.
And don't get names. Do not.
Or in relationship stuff, do not.
don't go there.
fucking do this person plus this person, because that will break you up. Because if you guys break up and you have that tattoo, it's gonna be a weird ass conversation with your next one.
Oh, what's that about? Long story. Drunken bet.
Yeah, so don't do any of that. People have said that basically is a curse. That will like eventually break yourselves like your relationship.
If you're gonna do something really meaningful, like my next tattoo, like it's okay to get music quotes, lines that really stick out to you,
that really defines you as a person.
Yeah.
So
like I'm getting a cross on my forearm as my next as one of my next tattoos. That's because it's gonna say "Stay Strong" on it. That's because that's something I have to remember, and it symbolizes to me that I still have hope in life. Mm-hmm. And then on my wrist, I'm getting "You can see God when I take my mask off," because that's a quote that's shined within my life and been something.
Hollywood Undead.
It's been a Hollywood Undead quote. It's been something that's traveled with me since 2008. So, Hollywood Undead. That's one of my all-time favorite bands, and it's a quote that sticks with me every time I think of religion or something like that really sticks with me, like that really sticks out. I think of that quote. You can see God when I take my mask off, because that shows that, there's always something under it. There's a meaning to something under the surface of anything, whether it's another human being or just the subject in your life. So that quote stuck with me the whole time.
And if you're curious, I'm getting a combination of 2 tattoos, which is like cybernetics on like one of my arm. I don't know which one. And maybe even hexagons, and in those hexagons is gonna be like a skull in the middle. There's gonna be like a circle of hexagons and then a skull only in those hexagons,
which is dope.
Like on my back or something, which is really fucking dope. Actually, my boss said that she wants to get a tattoo of a sunflower, but the base of the sunflower is gonna be her spine.
That's awesome.
So that's really fucking cool.
Okay, so music-wise. Now, we're going to kick this in 2 different directions, I already know, because we're 2 totally different personalities when it comes down to music.
Yeah, very sure.
I just got my hands on something really, really cool that I love. If you guys, I'll try to see if X can link it when it gets put into the archives. Demigods, which is Apathy, Ryu from Fort Minor, and another person, I can't remember
that one Fort Minor song that he's in.
No, he's in like half their albums.
Yeah, I guess.
They just it's called Demigods. That group's called Demigods. It's amazing. I love the track. Check out Slain. He's right from Boston, up on this side. He's an East Coast rapper from Boston. He was in the movie, the one bank robbing movie. I can't even think of it.
I don't watch a lot of movies.
It's about the Boston fucking bank heist too. La Coca Nostra did a song for the fucking movie too, which is in it. Give me a second. Oh, The Town. That was what it was. The Town. I thought it'd been Affleck, and I went The Town. Slane's in that. He also is part of La Coca Nostra with Everlast. If you guys know who Everlast is, which I highly doubt, because most of you fucks don't know good music. No offense.
Eminem dissed him
a couple times, which was stupid beef because
stupid beef that they got into. I don't know why.
Even though the Everlast didn't say shit. Everlast gave him applause.
Everlast was like brought into that point because Limp Bizkit said, "Oh, Everlast is gonna whoop your ass when they see you."
Yeah,
something like that.
And Everlast sat there. He had a full blown conversation, and Everlast was like, "I have nothing to do with this shit. Like, why the fuck am I getting dissed? Over here doing my shit."
He was basically swept like towards the middle of that chaos.
Wordplay, love it.
He was swept there, but obviously Eminem didn't attack him too much.
Like the thing is, like Everlast looked at him and was like, "I'm part of Coke. Like, why would I want to fuck with Eminem? I'm underground. He's rocking with Slain and a bunch of other cats that, you know, try to stay away from the mainstream shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he was telling one guy that was doing an interview with him, he's like, I have my own shit to worry about. Why the fuck would I fuck around with Limp Bizkit? Like, Limp Bizkit's trash compared to what we do. Like, listen to That's Coke or Gun in Your Mouth, which is actually from The Town if you guys have seen the movie. Everlast is an amazing artist by himself. But a couple albums that I've been picking up. Listen to Honky Kong by Apathy.
Honky Kong.
The fucking album is amazing.
Um,
And then the last album I've got to pitch is Twisted's new album, which is Year of the Sword, and it's all video game based. The whole album is set up like a video game, and it's fucking amazing.
on my side of the music thing, I've been really into a guy named NF. We talked about him earlier in this podcast. And another guy named Whit Lowry. I've been like heavily listening to them too. I've been looking at some other guys like Fire from the Gods, which is on the metalcore side
Token.
/ reggae. Token, another
Cannot
rap
forget
artist.
Token, dude.
No,
Token's fire.
Token's fire. So I've been really into like underground, non-mainstream rap, which a lot of people.
Which means you should start listening to Apathy, Slain, Cola Coca Nostra.
Which you never
That's
told me
Coke's
about
amazing.
until today. So,
You'll have to check them out. It's ill good.
so I've been listening to those two guys. If you
Bad
guys
Child's another one that's pretty good.
want to know what they're about, NF is basically he's like a storyteller about his life, issues he's going through. Same with Larry, but they approach it in different ways. NF is more not groom, but like it's darker than Whit
Yeah.
Larry's. Whit Larry's is more of a broken romantic, really lit up kind of rapper. Not like the mumble rap. He makes fun of that shit.
Oh,
but I mean,
check
like,
out on another case on that, coming from that side underground, really, really deep underground, check out Kasky. Kasky is fucking awesome. And Watsky. Watsky is fucking awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people will say, "Oh, what about Lil Dicky and all those rappers?" You know, Logic. You know, so I'm like, I listen to those guys, but I'm more of the underground.
But
You know what I mean?
when it comes time to it, though, when we're just sitting around just goofing off, or, you know, prepping for a video, or, you know, doing other funny shit, just like messing around in the room, or we're just cleaning, or goofing off, we will literally sit down, like, we'll do our shit and listen to Mask Off. We'll listen to, like, some of this stupid shit.
Yeah, like Drowning.
But Drowning's not stupid shit, though. Drowning's a good song.
I'm saying it because of Kodak Black and the fucking video. Like,
Okay. All of Kodak's Black's verses, other than Tunnel Vision. When you listen to Tunnel Vision, you could tell he has a meaning behind it.
Yeah, but like those stupid songs, we make fun of them, but at the same time, we like have fun ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I love Drowning just because of what A Boogie does in that song.
Yeah, Mask Off is because Devon brought it over.
Yeah, brought it up. Yeah.
And we started like lighting up to it too.
Yeah.
So still, there's other artists that we talked about that still stick with us, like Blue Stolly, Cell
Oh, yeah.
Dweller.
Blue Stolly and Cell Dweller are a permanent place in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's where I got the inspiration from the tattoo.
yeah,
was
I'm
Blue Stolly.
actually really waiting for Cell Dweller and Blue Stolly's next albums. I'm
still
super
waiting
excited.
for Blue Stolly's next album because he said Premonitions were a funding basis for him to tour. So I'm
Actually, I also know that you guys know that I'm a huge Crown the Empire fan. I'm actually kind of sad.
It's in our like videos before.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of sad that their lead singer just left. I'm still a huge Of Mice and Men fan, but sadly, no more lead singer. Of Mice and Men's no longer the same, and it's gonna be sad because I
Same
can't.
thing with
listen
Linkin Park, dude. That's the saddest.
Let's not bring that up right now, dude.
That's the saddest.
We don't need bad memories.
Because you guys know, like, I'm a complete Linkin Park fan. So
Oh, and
so we never got to talk about it in any other videos.
same thing with Asking Alexandria. Danny left. It's they this last previous album they did was absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong.
But look at the bright side. System of a Down is coming back.
SOAD actually has another album on the way. Serge actually was doing an interview, I think it was last week or the week before, saying that They are having studio time, and they are working on a new album. SOAD is coming back, which makes me super happy. Yeah.
What else is there? I had one in my head that I wanted to bring out.
That whole Chris Cornell thing still hurts me too.
Yeah,
that
definitely hurt.
Because you know why? Audioslave was this close to getting back together, and Soundgarden was gonna remaster Spoon Man.
Oh,
and everything happened.
Talking about Chris Cornell, that also reminds me of Angry Grandpa passed away.
Yeah, which
like 2 days ago.
I'm very sad to hear that.
I was torn up. That's rough.
That's
I don't want to get too into it though.
That's something we grew up watching.
Yeah, I used to watch him like 5 years ago because my brother like showed him to me and it was hilarious. So too bad. Rest in peace, Angry Grandpa.
Yeah.
Whitechapel.
Oh, Whitechapel's amazing. Oh, by the way, guys, it's been 20 years since ICP's Great Malenko album came out. 20 years. Damn. Like, holy shit. Dude, and Duality from Slipknot. Next year will be 15 years old.
That's insane.
That whole album will be 15 years old. Doesn't that make you feel old yet? Like, if you've been listening to Slipknot as long as I have, it makes you feel old as shit. Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
10 years. Old as shit once again.
Alright, the last segment of the music part is local bands.
Oh, local bands. I just discovered a couple more mentioning of that.
If you guys are looking for smaller bands that
are really hype, like mad good.
It's on the metalcore, deathcore, really heavy stuff.
Side, yeah.
Then go listen to Dive Team.
Oh, definitely. I'll plug Dive Team all day.
Oh yeah, we went to their show and
we've been to
amazing.
A couple of their shows.
And they're amazing people.
Actually, I was talking to Dave, the other night. I was texting back and forth with him, and he's like, "Oh, we're playing the Palladium in the next couple weeks." I was like, "Oh, really? No shit." He's like, "If you guys can get a ride down." I was like, "No shit." I was like, "I'll have to remember that. I'll take you up on that offer if I can get a ride down." I was like, "That's awesome." Dive Team I could definitely plug Dive Team all day. They're fucking amazing.
Periphery are not local bands are.
Another local band from Boston that I absolutely love, but they're fucking huge now.
Oh, is it Paris?
Paris.
Yeah.
Ice Nine Kills.
My boss actually went to school, the same high school that the singer went. She was in the same class.
You remember the old story I used to tell you all the time?
Yeah.
My first house party was with the lead singer of Paris, and the band was playing that night, and that was the first time I got high.
Yeah, my boss
with the lead singer of Paris. That was actually pretty funny.
My boss actually was like, "Yeah, I used to watch her play because she went to the Battle of the Bands in high school and stuff like that." And like, that's really cool.
She used to work at our local Hot Topic store.
Yeah,
and she sold me my first band shirt.
She's really cool.
Yeah, she's really nice too. Ice Nine Kills is another very big band that comes around from here. That I absolutely love.
Another small band that is actually rising up is The Worst of Us.
Yeah,
they're
dude,
going up there.
They're hooking it, dude. Same with Carlos's band Juggernaut.
Yeah, that too.
4th studio album. And, To Live Like Wolves.
To Live Like I was about to say that.
That's another unshameless plug. Fucking awesome band.
They're really all these guys that we're talking about. We met them and they are amazing people. You missing one more?
Oh, what the fuck is their name? We have signed band shirts. Oh.
Beneath the Burial.
Oh, that's another band.
Yeah.
But that's not the band I'm thinking about. Charlie, come on. Fuck.
Yeah, The Worst of Us.
No.
Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was about to say. Yeah, Worst of Us.
He was the Worst of Us, but Matt is now the lead singer. He was the bassist.
Yeah, which is actually kind of funny.
Charlie left because, he had other issues to deal with.
Actually, you want to know something funny? So, I was talking to Charlie one night, And out of nowhere, I was looking through his friends list on Facebook, and it came up. My ex-girlfriend was on his freaking friends
like
list.
1,000 friends though.
My ex-girlfriend was on his friends list. And I'm sitting there, I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, what's up with having her on your friends list?" He's like, "Oh, I dated her." I was like,
Oh,
come on, dude, you can do so much better. He's like, "Yeah, I got with that." I was like, "I did too." He was like, "Wasn't that good?" I was like, "I agree." I was like, "That's actually kind of shocking that Charlie knows her." I was like, "That's fucking great."
all right. That doesn't segue to issues of the day, but our issues of the day. This is our last segment of. He has one and we have one, but we're both gonna share.
Oh,
a little bit.
jeez.
I'm not gonna share to his, but because I don't.
He'll probably speak a little bit about it.
Yeah.
All right. So my big issue of the day is nicotine intake. Oh my God, is it a bitch? Once again, don't smoke. Not worth it. So, I don't know if you guys know what a Nick Fit is. Nick Fit is the worst thing you could possibly have. It's pretty much nicotine withdrawals, sort of like caffeine withdrawals, but a hell of a lot worse, and you get a hell of a lot more angry. And the headaches are 3 times as bad. I mean, I literally had to go from taking my nicotine intake with my mod from 3 to 6 because I wasn't getting enough nicotine. And it was just completely horrible. I had headaches, felt like I had a hangover every morning when I get up. It was just horrible. But since I booted up my nicotine strength, it's gotten a little bit better, which means that I should slowly cut down.
Yeah, I mean, nicotine is definitely an issue, and I hate how these corporations are thriving off the money off of this stuff.
Oh yeah, I can
because they put like the worst kind of shit in their cigarettes and stuff like that. I mean, nicotine obviously isn't like that's this part where it gets you addicted, but in the cigarette portion of everything, they put all this tar and shit, tobacco stuff.
Well, tobacco, believe it or not, is not the thing that's killing you.
No, but they put like crap poison and shit like that.
If you can actually go out and get cigarettes that are just actually 100% pure tobacco, which is not bad for you.
It still baffles me how that is completely legal. Like if you're above 18, alcohol had its fair share of problems, but it's legal after 21 here in America.
Which is ridiculous because you go to places like Germany, if you see over the bar, you can drink.
It's like Canada after 18 or 19 in some places.
Canada, you have to be 18. You can drink as much as you want.
It varies from any other region. Sometimes it's 19, sometimes it's 18.
If you go to Germany, you only have to be tall enough to see over the bar.
Which I agree, though. Like here, it should be like above 21 because there's a lot of crazy people. So if like teenagers get a hold of it, even though they do, some way or another, they go crazy. So that makes them go crazy. I don't want to talk about it. So it still baffles me how all that stuff is legal, but weed is still illegal. I mean, not in some places.
Well, do you know
it's getting its way?
Do you know the original reason why it was illegal?
Because some motherfucker was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna say this kills people."
Okay, no. What it was, actually, I can explain this story to you right now, real quick. Okay, so back in the 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, there was a dude that owned the lumber industry that realized that if hemp stayed legal, hemp, pot, all of it, if it all stayed legal, it would make paper products cheaper. So what he did is he went to our government and said, "Hey, look, this is coming in from the Mexicans. Let's ban it and make it illegal so I can still make a profit on the paper and lumber industry."
Not only that, but another thing that is also getting the profits is what's it called? The medication industry. The people who make pills. For you have depression, take these pills. It doesn't really work.
Yep.
They just fill that shit up with shit. Now people be like up and down like, "Oh, it's good for you. They do it for a reason." I'm like, some of them are not.
And they've also proven bud, the THC in marijuana actually helps with people with ADHD. It helps with seizures. It helps with a whole bunch of. It helps with everything. CBD. Look at CBD. CBD is now legal in vapes, and it helps your back pains. It helps all your physical pains.
And PTSD.
Yeah.
People came from war with like, I forgot what it's called. It's not PTSD. Something else. It's
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes them like shake or like react weird way.
Yep.
It also helps with depression, anxiety.
Yep.
It also helps with all this different stuff that people are not telling you that is so underrated that it's bullshit. Like
people fucking overlook a lot of things
because they're taught from a very young age, this is a drug. It's really bad for you.
It's not a drug.
If it was really bad for you, a lot of people will be dying.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because it needs to be shared. I have been smoking weed for 4 years now, almost 5. Everybody says it's a gateway drug. It's not. It really isn't. It's helped me get through school. I got good grades in school because of it. I used to smoke. I would roll a joint before school, get high as shit, go to school, and I passed all my classes. It helped me with my ADHD. It helped me with all my problems. And I'm still good. It makes you productive. It makes a lot of things easier. It's not bad.
Yeah, and that's what people have stuck in their heads from, especially if they come from a very prestige family,
yep.
Rich family, or even school. They say it. It's like, bad for you. Of course, there's a lot of things out in this world that are apparently good for you, and then they grow to be bad for you. Everybody's different.
The only time it becomes bad is when the shit starts getting laced.
Yeah. That and, like, short-term memory loss, which is everything, to be honest. Like, your brain cells are going to die either way.
Yeah.
They die, reproduce. It happens. That's what your body does.
And another funny thing is, they say weed kills. It's been scientifically proven you'd have to smoke half your body mass in less than 10 minutes to kill yourself.
And you'll die from the smoke itself.
Yeah, you die of the smoke inhalation before you die of the fucking weed.
It'll possibly take 1,600 joints, like, in 15 minutes, I think. And there's nobody that can do that. I mean, except for Snoop Dogg, but nobody can do that.
Nobody human could do that.
Can do that.
Snoop Dogg ain't human. That dude smokes like a pound a day.
Honestly.
Good thing he's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, he can afford insurance.
Alright.
My issue today is work problems. Now, I work at the Boys and Girls Club, and I have a lot of problems with
childish behavior.
Yeah, childish behavior of a lot of workers, because I work with teenagers. I'm not a teenager anymore. I just turned 20.
He claims he's an adult, but he still watches anime.
Shut up. Everybody watches anime.
Okay, true.
You're never too old. You're never too old to catch Bulbasaurs, okay?
Don't worry, my dad still watches SpongeBob. And the nigga's like 34 years old.
Oh my god. So, alright, I got a few problems with it. One, childish behavior. Two,
got that at work too. You're not the only one.
What's it called? Wanting to be on top of another, like higher authority.
Yep.
People want to tell you what to do.
Yep.
No matter what your position is. So on Friday, I was really pissed off when I came home because one of the workers there, I'm gonna call him E, because
I know who it
starts
is.
with E.
I know who it is.
Came over to me because person A, his name is A. Well, it starts with A. He took away the ball for Foursquare for the kids because it was lunchtime, and that ball is really close to the lunch line that we serve lunch in. So if that ball comes into the food, it's fucking ruined.
Yeah.
So you know, they were like playing or whatever, and they bring it into the kitchen.
Yep.
That's when we were like, all right, the ball's ours. So A takes away the ball. I wasn't there. I was like doing something else at the time because my boss wasn't there, and when she's not there, I'm in command. I'm basically her second
Second in command.
Second in command. Since I'm the assistant, so I cook, I do all that stuff. I tell everybody what to do, clean, and all that stuff. This is like a legit kitchen, like of a restaurant, but in less time hours.
Yeah.
So he takes away the ball, and E comes over and is like, "Can we please?" You know, the lunch is over. He's like, "Please, can we have the ball back?" A says no, because, you know, it's the last time you guys are gonna throw a ball over here. And so he gets pissed off and says, "Oh, I'm gonna bring it up to our, you know, our
Upper,
the higher up, which is his name is K."
I know who it is.
So he's like, "I'm gonna bring it up with him, and we're gonna see who has a problem. This is a courtesy, and if you guys don't want to work over here, because our job is much harder than yours, and you guys don't want to switch, so don't bring up any of that." And I'm like, "Ooh, we're so lucky that my boss is not right here right now, because you think we're children, and we have to do whatever you say. When you work over there in that office, just sitting on your ass reporting kids for doing bad shit."
Alright,
That's literally all it is.
I got one for you. And I'm not afraid to share names. Alright, so...
I just don't want to share names because I want to be respectful.
I know, I totally
Even though
understand.
they piss me off.
Alright, so I work with my mother 40 hours a week running machinery. Doing...
I have to go to the bathroom. I'm moving the mic just a tiny bit.
That's fine.
I feel like this is going to fall down.
I'll fill them in while you're making your run.
Just be careful it doesn't fall.
Yep. So... So, as I was going to say, I run machinery 40 hours a week. And I work with a couple of older people, I'll say. They're in their 50s and 60s. And one of them has been working there for 22 years. They think that this individual thinks that she knows everything better than all of us that work there. And she got on my case. She was like, "You're not doing your paperwork properly. You're not doing all of your shit properly." So I was sitting there and I was like, "Alright, look, if you want to do my job for me, do my job. I will just straight sit here and watch you do my job. If you're not, let me do my shit. Let me do my work. And don't say anything about it, because I know how to do my job." And she started flaking real hard on it, and she was like, "Well, she just went off." She was like, "Oh, you know, if you ain't gonna do your job, you know, you gotta start doing your shit and get your shit in order." I was like, "I already have my shit in order. I know what to do. Just let me do my job." And she just sat there and kept harassing me. Go ahead, sneak by. Yeah, I'll explain this to you and get your input on this, because this pisses me off so much.
Alright, go ahead.
And so, as I was telling him, I work with a older woman who's been working at my job for 22 years. And she walked over one day and she was harassing me. She's like, "You're not doing your job right. You can't do this. You can't do that. I'm going to report you to our upper." And I was like, "I'm doing my shit. I'm doing everything I was told to in my job description. Like, go ahead and tell our upper." And she went and told our upper, and my boss came over and he was like, "Are you really not doing anything you're supposed to? Doing it right?" I looked at him and I was like, "Really? You don't think I'm doing it right? Check my paperwork, check my boxes, everything else." He checked everything and was like, "Oh, everything's right. What is she talking about?" I was like, "Nothing. She's just being B word, not gonna say it." And Dave's like, and my boss was like, "Oh, you know, she's worked here for 22 years. She knows what she's talking about." I was like, really? Are my boxes wrong? Are my parts wrong? Is my paperwork wrong? And he was like, no. He was like, she just gets that way sometimes. And I was like, and she's done it for like the last 3 weeks, trying to get me fired.
Oh, I had that issue with people trying to get me fired. I had this guy named Jay. Actually, no, I'm gonna fucking say it because he's a douchebag. His name is Johnny. And
Johnny Young Bosch?
No.
I got you.
Johnny Young Bosch is Ichigo, and he'll forever stay in my heart.
Johnny Young Bosch is a badass.
I know.
Sorry, guys. I just had to.
If you heard noises with the mic, that's me like fixing it. So.
Oh, by the way, we got a new mic.
Yeah, of course. We can do an update video and update this channel because we have been dead for 9 months.
Just sort of working on our own shit.
That happened to me in my channel. Like,
yeah, we just had to get shit straight.
All right, so I called him an N-word with a hard R as a joke because me, Davon, Lloyd, we all joke around like that, and they're black. You know, I have fairly dark skin. I'm pretty dark, so race doesn't matter to me. Will is.
I get called it all the time.
Yeah, I call him that all the time.
I call him a
N-words.
SP all the time too.
Yeah,
I can't say the whole word, but I call him an SP and an N-word all the time. It's a joke. It's just something we've all grown close enough where we can all just call each other.
You ever heard of the
shit.
thing of turning a negative into a positive? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously we care about like that sensitive side, but we're trying to turn it into something better to not get reminded of that.
Yeah.
So,
like, I will dead ass.
Kind of how nigga was received as a greeting as well.
Like, I look at Davon every day, every time I see him, and I say, "You are a N-word" all the time, and I don't use the hard R. He is my best friend, and that's how we joke around. He calls me an angry German or a drunken Russian. He's called me a Nazi before, and it's just what we do.
It's a friend thing.
Yeah.
It's just between us. So, I call him that because I don't know why I did it. It just came out of my mouth. So, he laughed about it. Like, he joked it off. So then...
It's the way it's supposed to be.
The next day, he's like, oh, he called me an N-word as, like I hated black people as. I'm like, bro, do you see the people I hang out with? So then he told his parents on me, and then they were like, okay, have him fired because they thought I was, like, being a racist jerk.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't. I have friends of all races. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole situation that came up, what, 3-4 weeks ago now? With, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can now call Josh my friend because he's been over and hang out. I get along with him. He's a mutual friend because of Chaos, which I hope someday he starts YouTube so he can start working with us because that'd be amazing.
Well, he is. He just doesn't upload as much.
So he was dating some chick. Not to be rude, but it's really what it is. And her brother started a whole bunch of shit at Chaos's work.
Yeah. So basically, Josh was going out with Johnny's sister.
Same kid?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they really liked each other, and they really had, like, a thing going on. But then he went over to his parents saying that he harasses her, and he touches her, and that he's racist towards them. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? I saw the conversation they had because he wanted to apologize because some issue happened early in the summer. And for some reason, he says that Josh is a fucking terrible person for, you know, calling a white person a niglet.
You know how many times I've
done
that?
A Jew niglet. That's what he said. So then I don't know, he got his panties up in a bunch. I swear to God, he must be a woman because his freaking snitch skills are off the fucking roof. It's like legendary level 100. Okay.
You know what that means? Somebody's getting broken ankles.
For sure, he's getting his ass whooped sooner or later. When Josh is leaving that job, he's fucking punching his face in.
You don't get away with that shit. That's not how that works.
No. So then they broke him up, and I got really mad, and it was dumb. So then
he childish shit like that.
He tried getting me fired. He tried getting Josh fired, just because he doesn't like us and we don't hang around in this little groupie, freaking popular kids group.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, he can go fuck himself because he's that big of a bitch. So then, that's settled.
So last thing on the bill, I got me and Chaos are gonna throw a couple shout outs out real quick to some true homies, some other fellow YouTubers that we would like to, pin up just to say what's good and have you guys check them out. I got two of them right off the bat. My homie Omar Gosh and my dude, the bearded wonder, the East Coast Beast host, Chuck Reeves. Those are my two pins, my two shoutouts. I'll hand it over to Chaos for his two, and we out for the night.
I don't want to do like really famous ones that I really watch. No, I can't. I can't check. Actually, I can check. I'm just like, whatever. I wanted this to be a little bit more official than just like us talking.
It was. We did a really good job tonight. I'm proud of us.
This is our first ever podcast, so
yeah, and we did a really good job.
Do you say we can do this like every? We don't have a definite schedule. I was gonna say just Fridays at 8:00.
That's fine. Fridays at 8. That works.
But Travis and the guys are gonna always be here.
We can make time. We'll definitely have a set schedule. We'll go through and make some schedule changes, and we'll post a video about it. Not in a live stream, but we'll post a video. Tonight's our YouTube night. We gotta get shit straight, so we're gonna straighten out our shit.
Yeah.
Especially for you guys, because you guys have been amazing and sticking with us. So, please, we'll do that upload video tonight, and we'll make sure we get a set schedule straight. We do have a board. We'll show you the room change, and we'll make sure we get our shit straight for you guys. So, while he's finding his pins, I will say this right after we're done with this live stream. We'll do an update video for you guys, showing you the new gear, new equipment, the room change, and we'll set up the scheduling. Because it is unnecessary.
And if you guys want shoutouts, be sure to share, like the video, and subscribe as well.
Tell some friends about it.
Yep. We're gonna do some gaming stuff soon. If you guys really want gaming, go to either our channels that are in the featured channel list on this channel.
Yep.
So.
And if you're going to my channel, I post usually Monday through Friday. Some days I don't. Saturday and Sundays are kind of hard because the guys are over, but
I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I just upload when I can, really. Okay, so
that's what I've been doing.
So, I got my two. Alright, so one, everybody's iffy about, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I used to watch his videos ever since I first started watching YouTube, which was Dashy XB. I liked his early stuff where he did animations and did Mortal Kombat videos, skits, and I found them really fucking hilarious. And he does gaming too, which is really cool because I used to watch him when I was bored. And he's really funny to me. So if you find comparison in my voice with his, our both interests, what up? I don't try to, it just comes out naturally. But I try not to. I try to get my own style in. And my other one, he's from New England as well. He's really low on the subscriber count. He's not super famous, and he's not he reacts to the Ruby series I watch, and he talks about it. He does discussion live streams, and he's really good at reacting towards Ruby and RVB, Rooster Teeth stuff. And I think he does a little gaming as well. I'm not too sure if he does it in a separate channel or not. But Murder of Birds, I find him really cool. He's a really cool guy. Yeah. Even the Rooster Teeth know him and they find him like as a friend. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, those are my 2 pins.
Oh, by the way, secret pin of the night. If you can find them and watch them and leave a comment about it in the comments, TFIL. If you find them and watch them and leave a comment down in the description, you get a double shout out on my channel, Chaos's channel, and on this channel.
So yeah, we gotta keep growing, guys, and hopefully we can, actually start, growing
And working.
and working, because we're trying our hardest. But our main focus right now is to bring enjoyment to other people.
Yep.
Not just growing a subscriber count, because that's a side thing we'd hope to achieve. Our main goal here is to make other people happy.
I hope someday we have a triple platinum plaques hanging in this room for all 3 channels. Someday. Doesn't need to be necessarily now, but someday. I love what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, this YouTube stuff actually gives me something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad YouTube is a thing.
Yeah.
So, and we all get our inspiration from others, that went before us. So that's a cool thing.
All right, guys. Well, this is Legion. Talk to y'all later.
Yep. And we are Chaos signing out. This is our first podcast ever, so we're gonna probably do one sooner or later. So if you guys want to see the next podcast, make sure to put that, bell notifications up, and subscribe as well. And thank for people who watched. And if you watched after the live stream, that's okay. Just leave a comment down of questions you want to ask, like life experiences and stuff like that, if you want to ask it. And leave also a comment if you want a shout out. We can go double-sided on that. So that's cool. All right, we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.